Tao, Tanden, Tan. These are some of the most commonly repeated words in Hell's Paradise, and also some of the most confusing. A lot of people hear them, but deep down, they don't actually know what they mean. But here's the thing. All of these terms are connected. They're not random lore words. Together, they make up the entire power system of Hell's Paradise. And once you understand how it works, the story, the fights, and even the characters make way more sense. So in this video, I'm going to break everything down in simple terms. What Tao is, what the Tanden does, what Tan really is, how characters get stronger, and why using too much power can literally cost you your life. By the end of this video, Hell's Paradise won't feel confusing anymore. So let's begin. So before we get into the crazy abilities, we need to understand the foundation. What even is Tao? At its most basic level, Tao is life force energy. It's the invisible energy that exists in all things, not just people. Humans have Tao, animals have Tao, plants have Tao, even objects, nature, and the environment contain Tao. If you've watched a lot of anime, this idea might sound familiar. It's similar to chakra in Naruto, nen in Hunter x Hunter, cursed energy in Jujutsu Kaisen, or chi from Chinese philosophy. But here's where Tao is different. Most anime power systems are mainly about combat mechanics. Tao is that, but it's also deeply tied to spiritual philosophy, balance, emotions, and self-acceptance. It represents your existence itself, because Tao is directly connected to your lifespan. Think of it like this. Tao is your life meter. Every single thing you do consumes Tao. Thinking, breathing, moving, fighting, using techniques, and even staying alive. So when characters use powerful abilities, they aren't just spending energy, they are literally spending their life. And once your Tao is completely gone, you die. No recovery, no second chance. Your life force has run out. That's what makes this system so dangerous. Power and death are directly connected. And there's more to this. Throughout Hell's Paradise, you'll hear about Yin and Yang and something called the middle way. This is the core rule of how Tao becomes strong. The idea comes from Buddhist philosophy. The middle way means not living in extremes. Instead of being completely one thing, you exist in balance. In terms of Tao, this means you must accept both sides of yourself, not just the good, not just the strong, everything. Tao becomes strong when you accept both, your strengths and your weaknesses, your rage and your serenity, your emotions and your stillness, the light parts of you and the dark parts, and if you reject half of who you are, your Tao becomes unstable or weak. But when you accept your contradictions, your Tao surges. Now the next big question is, where does Tao actually come from inside the body? Tao is generated in a specific part of the body called the Tanden. The Tanden is an energy center located just below the navel in the lower abdomen. The Tanden is the source of Tao production, the center of Tao circulation, the most important point in a person's body. It generates Tao and sends it throughout your body so you can live, move, and fight. Now, here's the terrifying part. If someone's Tanden is destroyed, they can no longer produce Tao. Tao can no longer circulate through their body. Their life force collapses, and that means death is guaranteed. So in battles, the Tanden becomes a critical weak point because damaging it isn't just an injury, it's basically shutting off someone's life system. So Tao isn't something you just have. It's something you train, understand, and harmonize with. There are 5 main training methods used to master Tao. Doin, physical training. Exercise and body conditioning improve circulation, allowing Tao to flow better. A stronger body means stronger Tao control. Taisoku, breathing techniques. Controlled breathing stabilizes emotions, boosts Tao generation, and improves energy flow, helping prevent waste. Shoitsu, meditation. Built mental balance by accepting both strengths and weaknesses. Inner harmony makes Tao stronger. Shudo, internal energy control. Users learn to sense and guide Tao within their body, using energy precisely instead of draining life force. Yin-Yang union. Balancing opposing energies strengthens Tao. Connection with someone who complements you deepens self-understanding, showing that balance is true power. Mastering Tao grants superhuman abilities like enhanced strength, speed, sensing without sight, stealth through presence erasure, invisible attacks, and elemental powers. However, advanced techniques, especially ninjutsu-style abilities, consume life force rapidly, making overuse extremely dangerous. At the highest level, users can control the Tao of other beings, move objects with telekinesis, manipulate the environment, create matter-like effects, clone themselves using Flower Tao. This is basically God-level power. But all of this power comes at a cost. Overusing Tao can shorten your lifespan, erase your memories, strip away your humanity, and kill you. Even the near-immortal Lord Tensen must consume Tan, refined human Tao, to stay alive. Tao gives you godlike power, but every use brings you closer to death. For example, Gabimaru. His strength is that he's a deadly, emotionless shinobi trained to kill. His weakness is his deep love for his wife. At first, he tries to act like emotions make him weak, but once he accepts both parts of himself, both his killer instinct and his love, his Tao spikes dramatically, because that emotional balance creates powerful yin-yang harmony. Humans are emotional beings. Strong emotions like love, fear, determination, sorrow can cause massive bursts of Tao. That's why human Tao is considered high quality compared to emotionless beings. And Tao is divided in 5 elements. Every person's Tao naturally aligns with one of 5 elements. The 5 elements are wood, fire, earth, metal, water. These elements don't exist randomly. They're connected in cycles, and these cycles decide who has the advantage in battle. Sosei, the restoration cycle, support system. Think of this as the support chain. Each element naturally feeds and strengthens the next one in a clockwise circle. If 2 users with compatible elements come into contact, one person's Tao restores the others. The receiver's Tao becomes stronger and more stable. This doesn't even have to be direct contact. A weapon infused with Tao can transfer the support too. So Sosei is about harmony and cooperation. Sokoku, the counter cycle. Now comes the battle system. Sokoku is the counter cycle, and this is where matchups matter. Instead of the circle, imagine a star or pentagram inside it. Each element has another element it naturally suppresses. For example, water weakens fire, earth weakens water, fire weakens metal, metal weakens wood, wood weakens earth. If your element counters your opponents, their regeneration slows, their Tao flow is disrupted, and your attacks become more effective. Now we get to something unnatural. Beyond the 5 natural elements, there's a 6th type, Flower Tao. This is not part of the natural cycle, it's artificial and tied to the island itself. Flower Tao grants extreme regeneration, longevity, near immortality, but for humans, there's a terrifying downside. Humans who use Flower Tao don't stay human. They slowly turn into plant-like beings, alive but no longer truly human. The Lord Tensen are beings created from Flower Tao. Their bodies are plant-based life forms, which is why they regenerate insanely fast, don't age normally, can survive injuries that should be fatal, but even they still consume Tao, which is why they need Tan to keep going. Now we get to Tan. You might hear it called the Elixir of Life, but Tan isn't some magical drink made from herbs or divine energy. It's made from people. Tan is an incomplete but extremely potent form of the Elixir of Life. It's created and used by the Lord Tensen, the near-immortal beings on the island, to maintain their longevity and regeneration. Tan is produced by capturing humans, harvesting their life force or Tao, compressing and refining their bodies. The humans aren't just killed, they are transformed into a kind of organic, plant-like material, often described as flowers or blossoms. This is why so many of the shogun's men who are sent to the island never return. Victims are absorbed and broken down, and their Tao is extracted, and the remains converted into a life-giving substance. That substance is Tan. So Tan is basically refined human life force. Lord Tensen need Tan because using Tao drains life force, even for them. Tan refills the Tao they lose, letting them heal, stay young, and continue living. Without it, their energy would run out, and they'd eventually die. And that right there is why Tao is one of the most interesting power systems in modern anime. It's about balance, emotions, philosophy, life, death, elements, strategy, and the fact that every time someone fights, they're literally gambling with their lifespan. That's what makes Tao feel alive. It's not just power, it's existence itself. Now, if you want to see all of this in action, especially the terrifying beings who've mastered the system, I've already made a full video breaking down the Lord Tensen arc in detail, their abilities, their biology, and why they're so broken. Click that video next, and you'll understand the villains of Hell's Paradise on a whole different level. I'll see you there.